Can you guys please turn on the air? We're live. Oh, sorry. Hey. Yo, and away we go. I think that's why we do it here. Yep, that's right. We do it that way here. Welcome to the Mike the Ref Twitch stream here for a lovely July 27th. Hey, everybody. It is a hot one here. Not compared to people in the States who are used to this kind of heat, but we actually have an official heat warning here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So forgive me if I look a little perspired here, as the fancy people would call it. But great to see everybody here today. Whether you're watching live, whether you're watching on VOD, whether you're watching on YouTube at our YouTube wrestling channel, thank you. I do appreciate it. We got a hell of a card coming up here for Fight for the Fallen tonight. We got our... Let's get ready to tweet. Wait, hold on. Don't want to get it all out. Fun fact makeshift. I don't know if you knew this, but every time that Bruce Buffer says that phrase, $125,000. That's how much Eric Bischoff was paying. That's how much sporting events pay. That's how much boxing events pay. Let me work the words out here. Let's get ready to that event in January, like the Rumble. Yeah, I don't want any, I don't want any price tags coming down my way. Every time Bruce Buffer says that statement, $125,000 in his pocket. That's why he was willing to come to every Nitro back in the Attitude Era days. It is nuts. By the way, hi, good to see you here. Good to see JJ, Makeshift, both in the chat. We're already firing up early here. Yeah, tonight's show should be very interesting with the fact that we got enough titles on the line to last you a long time here. Thunder Rosa defending the Women's Championship against Yamashita after Yamashita pulled out the victory in Japan just a few weeks ago. Could you imagine them actually change that out? Yeah, sorry, Michael Buffer, that's the one. Bruce Buffer's the UFC guy. It's time, I believe he gets $50,000 for that. It's a little smaller, so maybe they get paid by the word. But yeah, Michael Buffer, that was just absolutely amazing. Oh yeah, hearing that even as a non-Hogan fan, hearing that phrase followed by Voodoo Child was glorious. Dude, the music way back during the Attitude Era and even the Classic Era, it just gets you moving. I as much as I hate, despise, can't stand Hogan, when you hear Real American, it just fires you up. And I'm a Canadian. There's certain songs during that time that they're just bangers everywhere you go. Left, right, and center. And you would know every single theme song of everybody that came out. There was no guessing. There was no in-between on any of that. And that was absolutely awesome. Even now today, outside of maybe 4 or 5 people, when it comes to AEW, I don't want to say they're generic, but they're not. There's something that doesn't stand out about each of them. They sort of blend together. But yeah, just as you're... And it was funny, when it came to Michael Buffer and his ring announcing, when it came to that music and the sound guy, it just seemed to merge perfectly. Because as long as Buffer would hold the word Rumble, it almost seemed like the sound guy knew exactly when to kick in whatever music needed to be involved there. Licensing must be a pain for theme songs nowadays. Yeah, like that's why most promotions, when you get higher up like that, they'll hire their own sound guy, like Mikey Ruckus and whatnot. When with AEW and whatnot, you'll see a lot of companies. Hell, I have a big problem with it when if you go back into our clandestine videos on our YouTube channel, there's a couple there that I physically had to change the music out for the entrance. And that's not easy to do. There's some people that just enjoy having their music put on regardless. But there are some that are serious. No, we're not going to let you have any whatsoever credit, money, anything for having our song play on your entrance. And as weird as it sounds, it's not just a handshake agreement that you can go with anymore these days. Got to get everything in writing in triplicate and blood. Usually you got to get the old stabby pen in blood and jab it down. And sorry, just watching the Blue Jays strike out another Cardinal. Even though I think they just lost the lead. You guys are getting the scoreboard. It's back here for me, so I don't get a chance to see it as easily. Yeah, when it comes to music, yeah, stabby. I think that was more of a John Moxley thing a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I just hope that, going forward, people are a little bit more forgiving when it comes to the music that's being used. Because frankly, when it comes to most of the stuff I produce now, I just get rid of the entrances. It's just not worth the headache of trying to get around what's licensed, what's not, unless I have an actual physical licensed guy. Like, I'm very thankful for the music during the intro here. It's Stream Beats by Harris Heller. He allows you to use his music freely. And the fact, it's simple. He gets a commission off of every time it's played. So I make sure that actually while I'm doing this, you can act in the background, it actually is still playing. So he's still getting credit. So while I'm talking, he's still getting credit for getting more money in his bank account. Not that many people need it, but at the same time, if there was a way that people could get me residual money like that, I would love that. And that it's like when you guys lurk on here on Twitch. If you just leave your stream running here, as long as it doesn't cost you extra data. I know I have unlimited data here with TELUS, which there's a sponsor down below. I'm full of plugs today for some reason. If you leave a stream lurking, getting that average value up, it just brings up your level that much higher in terms of recommendations and whatnot for when it comes to streaming as a whole here. So it also helps to have friends like you guys as well for hanging out with me here tonight. So all I can see is, oh my God. All right. Plug your ish. Yeah, I do what I can. I don't want to go overboard, just there's the new merch link for all the new merch stuff that I have and stuff like that. And people watching on VOD are like, what is he talking about? Because I've worked it out that stuff like this, all my cheap plugs and that, don't actually go up on the screen on the living Twitch chat. So, but anyway, we're here for Dynamite tonight. We got Roosh versus Mox, which should be an absolute banger of a match, even though a lot of people don't know a lot about Roosh. That win over Dragon Lee on Saturday was a very tight contest. And if you think about it, the Roosh versus Dragon Lee match on that card was so good, it was the only championship match that was allowed on that card by Tony Khan. So, and the fact that they're bringing up the 10-match win streak of Roosh, and do I expect the title to change? Not really. Do I think it's going to be a lot closer than a lot of people think? Yep. I don't think Mox is going to walk over the guy, but at the same time, could you imagine if they changed the championship tonight at Fight for the Fallen? So yes, this is another one of those branded Dynamites tonight. It is Fight for the Fallen. I do believe they're supporting Oceans or like an ocean repair or some cause to that effect. So anyway, here we go. Dynamite is live. Let me give you a timestamp here to keep you guys up to date. Black screen, intro. And we're getting Danhausen here going for the FTW Championship. Could you imagine Danhausen with pardon the phrase, the World Championship? Jim Ross starting the show. He's not doing the 2-hour thing, or doing the second hour thing tonight. Still haven't finished watching the tag match from Saturday. It's definitely worth checking out. Really? Alrighty. Let me get this out right now. We got Ricky Vaughn coming out here. I'm surprised they're actually starting with this, to be honest. Because I don't think it's going to go... It's actually funny that they're doing this in lieu of what happened last week, or happened on Saturday. Everybody was so angry and upset that the Gresham-Castagnoli match went first. And plus, I don't know if you heard all the grumblings from Gresham following that match. But Jonathan Gresham completely ripped apart Tony Khan, apparently backstage. Looking just about the booking and all that. You actually get to watch Dynamite live tonight, Art? I am so happy to see you here. And I do want to give you a special shout out here, Art. You brought it up to my attention. I want to just say it quickly right now. Thoughts and prayers to Mike Trout after hearing about his rare back condition that might keep him out of baseball, period. But shout out to Art for posting that article about it on Twitter. And, of course, we got Ricky Vaughn out of the bullpen here right now. So this should be a very interesting Dynamite for everybody here tonight. I do like those new combat shirts that they have for BCC here. I think they were a limited edition 1 week only deal, but it's almost as if Mox is showing it. Yeah, this is it. I'm not going to own this no more. Could you imagine Roosh winning this and just Moxley just piecing right now? Go join his buddy Seth in over in Nashville on Saturday. You want to talk about an ultimate pop situation? Just finished reading, listening to the Mox book. Fantastic stuff. I want to get that for Audible. Like, I'll be honest, I do have a few books. I'm not the most intelligent and person in the world when it comes to reading books, but I wouldn't mind reading that one. Oh, Mox isn't going anywhere. You know what I'd love to see? Just for a lark. Just to show that there's a huge huge thing going on here. And it's such a big change. Saturday night. If you guys haven't heard, the Riddle versus Seth Rollins match has been removed from the card because of a stinger that Matt Riddle suffered thanks to the attack on Monday. I know it's not going to happen. Let me put this straightforward, but don't you... I wish that they would just put out an open challenge for Seth Rollins. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's in the ring waiting for his open challenge, just like he was at Mania. And then Wild Thing pops up. Could you imagine the roar of that crowd? Not that I think it's ever going to happen, but could you imagine it happening? Oh my God! We're not even 5 minutes in, and Mox is bleeding already. Ow! What's with the tomato juice drink there? My pipe dream would be an open challenge, then you get MJF showing up. That would be... Well, the problem with that is Seth's a heel right now. And I guess MJF showing up there would be a complete face move, but... Roosh can't even hold the chair right? What the hell? Put the chair on backwards there. Oh, and Mox said, oh, that's enough. We don't usually see Mox doing many topes suicidas here. Oh, dive through. All right. But it's interesting here. Moxley going to work on the floor here. Makes me almost wonder what he told the referee there about that, because I got a feeling that was a mistake there, rather than rather than something that was legitimately planned for that spot. Because I don't care who you are. If you're the champion, you should not be bleeding that easily. Like, I get the whole red equals green theory that a lot of people have. So they're showing the display for All Out. By the way, All Out will be shown live at Beercade YEG. Hey! Jaylee baby, how you doing here tonight? Folks, do me a favor if you can. Give Jaylee baby a follow here. Let me get the shout out here going. I gotta get the shout outs here going for you guys. I'm a little bad on that sometimes. And that's because my thing doesn't want to show up properly. Jeez. There's one for Game Time Art. I'm having a great day here, except for the fact it's plus 6,742 degrees here. Plus or minus 5. Yeah, things are going well here, and so hot out in BC as well. Yeah, it's like that all across the country right now, and I'm actually sort of happy that the real heat didn't show up until till today instead of yesterday, because I don't want the Pope to have any bad situations while he was here the last 2 days. Like, I'm not going to get into politics one way or the other. But I will say this. People were complaining about how much security there was for the Pope. Could you imagine how many countries would attack Canada if the Pope was not properly taken care of here in Canada? Be like, yeah, you want to talk about a war? We get a war going on here. Let's see if this works any better now. Of course it doesn't want to. Jesus. But yeah, life's going well here. We're watching Roosh and John Moxley here. Really, I'm glad that Moxley's actually bringing in some different people and trying to elevate some other bodies that aren't normally in the title picture right now. Sorry, this is driving me nuts because it won't recognize stuff properly here, so. Yeah, let's see if that works better. There we go, that's better. Sometimes my stream deck wants to act like it has a mind of its own here, so. But yeah, the fact that AEW is getting a little more proactive in trying to raise some of the mid-card up into the higher levels here, it does give you that feeling that there are a lot more people that are willing to, or not just willing, but capable of being in that top spot here. So if this happens a little more often, and let's face it, there's injuries that are going to happen when you're dealing with older wrestlers. And I don't mean old by an age. Well, Jaylee, thank you for the positive comments there. If you're watching Dynamite and you have any thoughts, feel free to chime in the chat. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to throw them my way here. Trying to get a little bit more interactive in not just talking about the match, but talking about everything that's going on here when it comes to wrestling. It's a lot of, like, let's face it, a lot of these matches, you know, this picture stuff is fine and all, just sometimes you want a little distraction, like 5 seconds away from it. As we get away from the picture, ironically enough. Oh, I thought he was going to try and go for dirty deeds off the second rope. Speaking of injuries, let's hope Mike Trout news. Well, Yager, it's actually coming from his doctor. That's the thing. He's been sent to a spine specialist. And I know Art put up the article earlier on his Twitter account. Shout out to Game Time Art once again. He is, when it comes to anything sports related, to anything Winnipeg Jets related, anything Astros related, he is all over it like a dirty shirt and then some. And also the creator of the show YEG Baseball League. You guys see me lose horribly in and win barely in. So, but yeah, he brought up the article there, and there is the doctor's news is accurate. Like, yeah, odds are Trout's shut down for the rest of the year. I swear I have an interesting. You do, Art. Almost called you Garth there for a second, like trying to spit out my words together. Oh, nice double bird. I thought Roosh was going to try and go inside out on that clothesline. I'm sorry, man. You're a little too big for that. Oh, nice. I love when people pull out moves that they're not really known for, like that Snapdragon like that. But yeah, that article that came out about Mike Trout, it is information coming from one of the leading spine guys, right? So we'll know more next week. Okay. I really hope that this is all legitimate, and the biggest problem I have with all of this is and this is just paranoid me coming out. This information's coming out a week before the trade deadline. And this might be the one time where Otani might actually have some elevated value as a trade bait for the Angels. Not that I think they're going to trade him, because that management is just about as bad as the Winnipeg Jets management of Pierre-Luc Dubois. But I digress. Shoryard, I had to throw that out there. But, Jesus! At least Moxley was able to get down firm on his back for that. Or somewhat firm on his back. I always hate that spot, because if you don't do it properly, that's almost as bad as a buckle bomb, but it's in reverse. So are we doing the same spot but the other guy this time? Oh no. Ah, good old bite. Oh, there goes the laptop. Here comes Andrade. You knew El Idolo would be around. Could you imagine them doing a title change tonight? It's funny how Penta, gets around the ring steps a lot. I don't know what happened in the ring, but that was a lot closer fall than it should have been for a move we didn't see. That's why I'm always weary about people that complain about... Nice clothesline. I love how Roosh gets up for his clothesline. Oh, nice. Triple H knee. Straight jacket pile driver? Wow. Yeah, if you're not familiar, straight jacket is when he grabs the arms and holds them in front of his chest for the fact that he can't get out of it using his hands. But the way that Roosh takes his clothesline just looks so cool and professional. Like anytime he's taking a big clothesline, he'll jump at the last second, so when he gets hit, he goes down hard. Oh, he was going to go for a neck breaker, then turned it right into the Bulldog. That was a very smart break. Oh. All right, Death Rider it is. Now, this is why Mox is a champion compared to most. He hit that Death Rider. The second that he got out of two, he knows exactly where he wants to go next. Now, there's the Bulldog choke, and it's done. You know what? For it's our typical 20-minute match to start off Dynamite, so. And here we go. And the bird. Gotta love the bird. Speaking of the bird, we'll probably see a few birds out of this. Maybe some cool cats. Oh my God. All right, this is an interesting group. Can I just say Jungle Boy is a very lucky person today? Damn. That's my one comment today. Sorry. Got a little pig-headish there. Yeah. If you don't have Punk for All Out, it looks like you're getting Jericho. Uh-huh. Oh, they're giving Danielson the main. All right. Well, of course it did. And a JAS. Nice. Sammy versus Dante is going to be a spot fest as long as they get time to do it. Anna Jay looking to choke people out. And we're all thankful for it. AEW Galaxy. Yeah, that's exactly what he calls them. If Jericho didn't have 6 people there, he wouldn't have beat Eddie Kingston, but like I said, All Out, this is our main event. And of course, he would get a rematch because he's a superstar. Sweet Expos. Yeah, well, anything Expos is sweet. We all know that. Ha! Ha! Okay. I love how Moxley puts it straight. Ha! King of trademarks. Super J-Cut? All right, let's go. Let's dig deep. Lion. Oh my God. The last survivor of the Heart Dungeon wasn't. Wasn't that Natty? No, actually, that makes sense. They closed down before that. It was trained by the Hearts, but not in the Heart Dungeon. Another Jericho gimmick. Nah. I'll be on. Oh my God! Whoa, 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 whoa! Hold on here. Here we go! Here we go! Here we go! Let's call that a win! Here we go! Trios titles! We got Trios titles! Yes, finally! Alright, folks, throw it out. Dante, I'm sorry, but all right, folks, I'm going to throw this out here right now. Who gets the first Trios title? Who wins it first? Boyfriend, girlfriend versus boyfriend and girlfriend. Bucks and Cole? See, I don't even know if Cole's ready to come back to the ring yet. I would like to see Bucks and Cole. All right, let me throw this up here because this might be the one title that might change hands tonight. Ricky Starks and Danhausen. I gotta get me a wireless keyboard or something so I don't have to reach over all the time like this. There's 5 minutes on the clock for you guys for predictions. Dante getting better on the mic. Yeah, like his promos don't have to be overly complicated. He's got the skills, right? If Pac drops the All-Atlantic titles before then, you'd say Death Triangle? What in the world? What in the world is this? All right, I'll live with that. Nice little promo to start off here. Stark Week. Hey, by the way, chat, did any of you guys pick up any of those foam sharks for last week? But I would have to say my pick for Trios Championships, that might be the Omega appearance. We don't... Because if it's going to be Cole, I think it's going to be Cole and Red Dragon. Or hell, if... whatchamacallit... the House of Black could win it. They've always been overlooked so many times. Very well could be them. Yeah, I just want to say welcome to everybody that just popped in here. We got some breaking news here that the Trios Championships have been announced, and Adam Blancpain's favorite, a tournament has been determined that we will get a Trios Champions based out of that. Best friends? Let's put it this way. For years, we complained that there was no tag team wrestling in WWE or whatnot. Now they're proving that they can even do trios and tag titles here in AEW. Well, that's one way to do a curse. I mentioned it on my Twitter, but I love Stark's kid is so good. I remember watching Ricky versus Sammy Guevara for Wrestle Circus, promotion out of Texas. Like, those guys would go for like half an hour, 45 minutes, all over the building. Start with a Mahi Straw Cradle. Like, Danhausen can wrestle. He's just got a very interesting gimmick that he doesn't need to wrestle. Whoa. Starks almost lost that one. All right, there's the spear. I hope that... All right, well, I put the channel points up for 5 minutes. Whoever put the 30 points in is lucky because I got to return them all because it didn't last the betting period. Put the AEW tag titles on FTR, then FTR and Danhausen win the trios. That would be epic. To say the least, that would be epic. I think I'm with you here. Because doesn't that FTW title look perfect on Hook? It's Daddy's title anyway. Here we go. Ardas, we receive. Hook out of nowhere here. And Taz tried to be somewhat professional at the desk. But we all know he is absolutely giddy right now. Hook in the orange gear to match the championship, too. I'm not putting a prediction up because this is going to change hands here. You know what? Screw it. Let's get it up right now. Quick. Okay, gonna throw a minute on here, guys. Let's go. 1 minute on the clock. Go ahead and throw your predictions in. You want to make some easy money here? Pick which side you like. I really hope this match lasts as long if it's going to be a title change. You know, it looks like everybody's dying for Hook here. You got time to chase the money for Starks. He could always run out for a count out. But I guess that would be a victory for Hook regardless. Oh, nice. Yeah, I gotta fix those up, whether I want to count them as nice. I think that's the first offensive maneuver that Hook's taken in a ring. Oh, wow. Oh, and there's that spear. Is Hook gonna take the loss here? No. Didn't think so. There it is. Takashi! The transmission is hot! The transmission! The transmission! And there it is! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Well, that didn't take long. Shout out to the person who bet 10 on Starks there, you know, just for chasing the money. I do not blame you. You hear Taz on the end. He's just trying not to cry right now. I'm actually really happy that Starks doesn't have that championship anymore. Just for the fact that he can move on to something else a little more tangible. Like, honestly, Hook with the FTW Championship, to me, feels like it's a little bit more of a better storyline regardless. Because obviously people know that Hook is Taz's kid. Starks doesn't need it. Realistically, he should be in that TNT title picture with Wardlow. Or him and Hobbs get in that tag title spot right now. I know they're going to need a little bit of a break because we've seen Swerve and Keith Lee take on those two way too many times already. Don't get me wrong, they're never bad matches, but sometimes you don't want to. Heavy, long, deep sigh. Not a fan, JJ? Or are you just swooning over the fact I was talking about Hobbs there for a second? But yeah, congrats to Hook. Let's face it, Hook's got this meteoric rise right now. Well, think of it this way, JJ. If you don't like Hook being a champion, it could have always been MJF coming out here. Which, frankly, if we see MJF ever in an AEW ring again, I might be a little bit shocked. Never be a fan of Hook? Meh. It's one thing I'll appreciate is the fact that you can't be a fan of every wrestler every time. There's some wrestlers that I can't stand that everybody loves, and I'm sure everybody's got that. All right, Chad, I'll throw this out as a question right now. JJ brings up a good point. There's a wrestler that she will never be a fan of, and that's Hook. Is there a wrestler that you have right now that for some reason you just can't get? No matter how much the people go over on it, how you just can't understand why this person's so popular. Yeah, I'm with you with their art. Theory to me, don't get me wrong, what happened on Monday here proved a lot for me for Theory, but at the same time, that history and the fact that he's still with the company, same with Riddle, it just rubs me the wrong way. That if you're trying to clean things up the way you are, and then you did one good removal with Velveteen Dream, but sorry, there's more to go. Jagger's got Eddie Kingston there. I can see that. He doesn't have the appearance of a wrestler. Like even Steve Austin when he got into his post Owen Hart Stone Cold gimmick, he still looked like a wrestler, even though he was more of a brawler and a fighter than a wrestler. Alexa Bliss, I could see that being, when it comes to size and whatnot and the personality right now, the split personality. Nice. Trying to act too tough? Yeah. I love this. I absolutely love this. Whoa! Okay. Okay. Team Taz employing right now. Yeah, that was a shot, Jaeger. Absolutely. I'll get back to your Eddie Kingston comment here in a second. But yeah, that was... Yeah, I did... That to me surprised me. But you know what it does? It gives Ricky something to work with for the next few months here, right? All right. Hey, Zodiac, how you doing, my friend? Ass cream? All right, we got another rap video coming on Friday, so get ready for the YouTubes. Oh, how are you doing here tonight, Zodiac? It's been really good so far tonight. We watched Moxley and Roosh were a really good opener. We're starting to get the... Oh, hey, hello.
I'm back.
Zodiac. 7 months. Thank you. Recovering from COVID. You know, I've had so many people around here. So many of my friends get COVID here in the last couple weeks here. Like Jupiter Vision's just getting over it. Zodiac, you're just getting it right now and trying to fight through it. I do appreciate you subbing regardless right now. I know this isn't an easy time for you, but damn. I hope you feel better soon. I really, really do. I don't wish COVID on anybody right now. Expect Gun Club to be in the Trios tournament. Will somebody join Acclaimed, or will they stay a duo? I got a feeling that they'll throw somebody in there for the Acclaimed. Like maybe even like a Dante Martin or somebody on the side. Let me get this prediction here for you. And this has to go 5 minutes. There's 6 matches. You're not going to put You're over the hump. Day 1 and 2 sucked. Ugh. I don't want COVID, but 5 days alone would be amazing. You know, there is... Parrish, I want to give a shout out to you because you always find the positive. It might be something that's completely sadistically positive, but it is positive. And good to see you here tonight, Parrish, by the way. Yeah, when it comes to Day 3 was the worst for me. Then it disappears overnight, and it was like it never there. You know, when I get a flu bug, for me, it's 24 hours and done. But those 24 hours suck. And usually it happens so quick that I don't get time to call in sick to work. This is Sammy's first singles match since April? Wow. But, yeah, so we're going to have to see what this bracket's going to look like for the tournament. I expect the Acclaim to get in there, but I do expect them to be a little bit more... I expect them to be a feeder team for somebody, like maybe the BCC or something. Let me keep throwing through here. If only I had Maniac's N64 when I had COVID. Then have it now. Nice. Oh, Jaeger, I got a feeling that unvaccinated players are not going to be allowed in Canada, period, for a while. It's just, you know, there isn't enough known about COVID to actually determine it one way or the other. Wonder what, and if the Blue Jays make the playoffs, I don't think there's going to be an exception. My God, Dante gets up. And now Sky Blue in the corner. I wonder if she's going to cost him the match more than... Aww. Little kissy moment with those two. Ugh. Wait, here we go. There we go. That's what we're looking for. So don't forget, get your channel points in here. We just got just under 2 minutes left on this match. Few names are rumored to be on the brink of signing with AEW until the Triple H news came out now. Going back to WWE's serious option, who we thinking? I'll be honest, if we're going to have that open... One of the biggest keys in the cog here that I think that Triple H could really... If Triple H wants to make an impact this Saturday at SummerSlam, if you haven't heard, Riddle is out due to Stinger. The match between him and Seth Rollins is... kaput. But could we see another open challenge like Rollins had at SummerSlam? If we do, I could see Johnny Gargano being that opponent. And if Johnny Gargano comes back there, that might be the catalyst that everybody's like, oh, okay, this is cool. Like, I'm with a lot of people here when it comes to figuring out what we're going to get here with WWE. I figure we're looking at around Survivor Series in terms of how long it's going to take from the change. I half expected Gargano to come out when Roman said Daddy isn't here anymore. I would have loved to see that. The only question I have is how many people in that crowd would get it? Because one thing that Vince did have right, and one thing I try to emphasize whenever I'm doing any of my stuff here, when it comes to my video stuff and all that, not everybody has 30, 40 hours a week to watch their New York, they would have lost their minds. I honestly, how many people watch NXT? Like, don't get me wrong, the NXT Brooklyn crowd, there's history there with that. But at the same time, the number of casuals that could come to watch wrestling right now, I can see Logan Paul uniting with The Miz turning into Moscow Trump. If that's the case, DIY reunion to make most sense. Okay. Yeah, that's right, Art. I get your point. New York isn't a casual crowd. And the other thing is Miz. Sorry, not Miz. No, yeah, I got it. Yeah. I would love to see DIY being the team that beats the Usos for the tag titles. For me, that seems to be what that would be one of the that would be a catch point right now. DIY versus the Usos, even having that match would be a catch point to catch a lot of people back into wrestling here, or at least the WWE version of it, right? But yeah, that New York crowd. I get your point, Art, and I'll concede that to you. The fact that I think you're right there. That New York probably would have popped. The thing I was getting at, there was already a scheduled surprise for that night. Oh, your audio text. Okay. You must be driving home, so that's fair. I figured you were saying The Miz anyway, so don't feel bad. I just, literally read a little bit too straight there, so. The one thing that was the sticking point to me to think that Gargano wasn't going to be there anyway is the fact that apparently Edge had some issues with travel, or else he was going to be that guy that, oh my God, here's that spot. Stupidity spot number 600. Oh my God, he landed. Standing Spanish fly out of nowhere. It's funny, Orton's got the RKO. Pretty sure Dante's got that Spanish fly. Nice. That stretch into the side slam, that's new. It's actually really good to see that, we're starting to see a few moves here and there. All right, no. Sky, get over there. Oh, he ate that cutter wrong. Oh, Dante. I hope that knee injury isn't legit on that case. All right. And of course, Sammy's got to show up to the wife. You think The Fiend will be back at SummerSlam? I could see them being part of the New Judgment Day. Maybe The Fiend will bring the demon back out. Sky, get in there. Jeez. If Ty's getting involved, why aren't you? Oh, God. Oh, and yeah, here's the new gimmick, Anna Jay. So are we going to get somebody out here to, we need a new face woman involved here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Sky taking that long was kind of crap. Yeah, I think that the spot was supposed to be as soon as Sammy went up. But not that I feel that it was great timing anyway, but It's one thing we've been finding with the Jericho Appreciation Society as a whole. The spots are ill-timed in a lot of fashions here. Like, go back to that barbed wire massacre. That closing sequence was absolutely crap. Not just what happened, but the timing as well. And it looks like that hit was legit. Greatest technical sports entertainer in the world, huh? All right, JJ, thanks for the hydrate. I was getting there. I just wanted to get through this promo first, but trust me, I need a lot of water in this apartment because there's no AC here, so. So once again, thank you to everybody for popping in here. Once again, it's been, well, first hour of Dynamite in the books, and we've had a heel turn. Well, a face turn for Ricky Starks, thanks to Powerhouse Hobbs. We got a new FTW champion in Hook. Exactly where that championship needs to be. Wonder how much longer the sports entertainment term's going to last. I got a feeling that it's going to last longer with the JAS than it is going to with the WWE. To be perfectly honest. I think the JAS is going to be an outdated term because when it comes to WWE, I think they're going to want to get back into a little bit more into what brought them to the dance. And it's those moments in the ring. Because right now, as much as the promos and the... Sorry, interesting nose there for a second. When it comes to the promos and all that, that's what's going to bring people in. It's the actual stories that bring people in the ring. Like, let's put it this way. The first hour of Raw on Monday was actually rather interesting, even though I know, Art, you weren't a fan of Theory and you still aren't. The way they did everything in there, with Reigns getting his stuff in, then Theory coming out right away, looked a little confusing that they gave him another intro there, but as soon as he was going to talk, he gets interrupted by McIntyre. We get that match, then we get into another match. So 40 minutes out of the 60 involved wrestling. And there were no recaps. Because the more recaps you do, the more you're bringing people away, because the people that have already seen it have the opportunity to change the channel on you. So this next month will be key for WWE to get a lot of people, because once we hit September, we're back into NFL season, and with NFL season, ratings do take quite a hit. And the fact that they're adding more doubleheaders to Monday Night Football is just going to take even more away from what kind of crowd that WWE is going to be gathering on TV here. Especially if they put the Bills on Monday night, because, you know, they're going to win it all this year. Another illegal choke joke. Love the tie-dye suits. Somebody needs to get me a tie-dye suit. What? Sanjay's injured. He just mentioned that on the Unrestricted podcast when he was on. He's not able to go anymore. All right, do we get the double turn of Luchasaurus tonight? That's the question. Because Jungle Boy's coming out by himself. And here comes Luchasaurus, but he's still in the black gear, though. We better get the... So is it... Not if a coin flip has something to say about it. Ha! So I got a question for you guys. Is it considered a double turn or a return? Because, you know, he was there and now he's going right back. He never really admitted that he went. So would that be a return or a double turn? I do love the fact that they get to extend an entire rivalry just to this week. What's that Cyberpunk 2077 sign? All right, Jungle Boy, say something. W-turn making a materia. Whoa! Whoa! Even the girls are like, whoa! This crowd is screaming right now. Well, we got a new term. Thank goodness they changed the rating of the show. It looks like this is going to be the... Cyberpunk 2077 has a good story. You know what? We might have to find that out. Okay. Mr. CLB. You threw a lot of people out of that battle royal. Whoa! Here we go. Now we're getting personal. Ha! 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 Wow! 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 Jungle Boy's just lining them up here. Yes, Art. Okay. Jungle Boy's got to be careful. I see that look. Oh, here's that Hart Legacy. Oh. All right, what's CLB got to say here? You put Matt Hardy through a table. That's your highlight. Really? Okay. Yeah, this is getting deep. All right. All right, Bucks. Ha! Cutler for Young Bucks partner. Hashtag. Hey, Darth Mick, how you doing? What, he's got a water bottle in his hand? Jungle Boy versus Christian all out, and that's when Lucha's there to turn back? Yeah, maybe. We got a commercial break coming, Darth Mick. I'll give you a recap here in a sec. So is this how the Young Bucks go back to... All right, so what you're missing there is the fact that we now have trios titles going. There is a tournament to be crowned at All Out for okay, I remember this one. This one won't go long, but let's get the predictions out while we're at it here, but I'll catch up to speed here. They just announced after the first match here tonight that we are going to have a tournament to crown the first AEW Trios champions. And Strickland. Honestly, these are of all the championships that they talk about, this is the one that's probably needed the most. There's your predictions here for the next match. Honestly, Zodiac, I understand your thing about too many championships, but now that they've pretty much decided that the North Atlantic Championship is going to be defended outside of AEW, it's basically going to be one of those pass around the Indies championships. I don't mind it. What else could I say here? We got Hook is the brand new FTW champion after Starks beat Danhausen in about 2 minutes and then called for another open challenge. Took out No Chance in the segment. You know they're going to get a few of those in here. God, do I love Sterling's gear. Reminds me of John Laurinaitis. Need a little people power. Don't think they needed an AEW Trios title if they're bringing back the ROH Trios title. Fair enough, and good to see you too, Mr. Crowder. Frankly, when it comes to ROH, I'm not counting anything right now until they actually announce that they're doing something with the brand. It's like when people were asking me, this is what I was going to talk about at the top of the show. People were asking me about why do they have all these AEW main stars with ROH championships? Like FTR, they're hoping to have on AEW TV. They're going to have Claudio on AEW TV kind of thing. Until they actually announce formal plans for TV or a streaming service or something where they're going to get consistent product out outside of until they announce certain things that come up where they're going to get more exposure, more regular movement going on with their product. I don't expect much in terms of ROH people having ROH championships. You want those championships in the spotlight, right? So, okay, let's see here. Darth Mick, good point here. WWF had the heavyweight, intercontinental, European, light heavyweight, hardcore, tag team, and women's championships. I do believe there was another one in there. Well, there was the $1 Million Championship too, but that's a different one, different era. You think they'll just rebrand Dark into ROH eventually? Tony Khan in the post press conference for Death by Dishonor said that will absolutely not be happening because ROH will be its own brand versus AEW Dark is more of the developmental system for AEW in this case. And you can look at guys like Ricky Starks that came through there, Red Velvet who came through there. There's a whole list of people that came through Dark that earned their way onto the main roster. So I don't see them rebranding Dark into ROH anytime soon or if ever. Let's see here. But yeah, until they actually come up with something for ROH more than the occasional every 4-month pay-per-view, I don't put much credence into anybody outside of the people that are in AEW having most of those titles, just for the fact those titles can get exposure. The light heavyweight title became the cruiserweight title after the WCW purchase Invasion. Yeah, so they threw those together. WWF also had 6 hours of production right now. And right now AEW has 3. And I do believe that ROH, they're probably going to try and get ROH another hour themselves. Well, look at Death Before Dishonor, which was a hell of a watch-along last night. They had every single championship that they had available on that show. And they had the Rush versus Dragon Lee as the only other match not included. And they also allowed to have 3 pre-show matches on that 0 hour, which I'll say this: the Death by Dishonor card was very solid and worth the $30 that it cost to get. So, yes, the WCW did have the cruiserweight tag team championships as well as the regular heavyweight tag team championships. That's more of a model that is followed in New Japan as well, where basically the Super Juniors get their own set of titles. And I'm hoping that, the TBS and the TNT, the old 3 count. Don't Sugar Shane Helms dancing around. Those cruiserweight tag titles were... I honestly think they might have been a rib. Nice looks like he's in Dream Street here. I'm just trying to remember that MMA fighter that 3 count used to have as their corner man. It wasn't, it was basically Goldberg's mortal enemy as they were playing it up there. Tank Abbott, that's it. Yep, thank you. You typed at the same time I thought of it. Thank you. Watching Tank Abbott dance was an absolute privilege. All right. That was impressive on both ends there. Tony Nese held himself by his toes and then all of a sudden over the top of the double stomp. Kid Romeo and Primetime Helix Skipper were actually very entertaining to watch abs. Honestly, that cruiserweight... All right, that's it. That was going to be quick. I was almost tempted to put down the wrong answer for the predictions there, but... Whoa! Okay. I see you. I see you, Josh Woods. I see you, Josh Woods. So maybe we got Josh Woods and Tony Nese as a team. I'm digging that. You want some new blood in there? The former pure champion and Josh Woods would be a hell of a get here. Surprised Kid Romeo didn't do anything after WCW closed. To be honest, I don't think many of them... Oh, House of Black promo. Really? Brody and... Okay. Brody and Darby in a coffin match. That will be another in there. By the way, speaking of guys that I just can't get into that everybody else seems to love, there's one for you right there. And there you go. There's another defense by Pac. And here comes Yamashita. All right, I'm gonna throw this prediction up as I catch up with the chat here. You guys are all over it tonight. I want to thank you guys for being all over in the chat tonight. You guys are bringing it hard, and I am appreciating all of it here. Watch the video of the day about Team Canada being the best part about the dying days of WCW. Yeah, like one thing I'll say about Lance Storm, a lot of people said he was bland in a lot of the things he did. And even DBS Storm is here. Lance Storm holding and rebranding every WCW title was a highlight of the dying days of WCW. Lance Storm knew how to get a promo over, no matter which way you wanted to play it up. And yes, it was the Saskatchewan Hardcore International title. It was the Cruiserweight title was known as the Kilo title, I believe, or something to that effect. Oh, yeah, and Darby's the guy I can't stand, Yager, by the way. Yeah, Darth Mick, most people at the end did not like... the 100 kilo and under title. That's what it was. That's right. Let me get this up here for you. And I'm going to throw this up for 5 minutes here, guys. So, Women's Championship match. Let's get to it. Get your predictions in. Could you imagine them changing the championship here? Thunder Rosa's had, I think the best way to explain it is an underwhelming title run here. And it definitely could... I love Lance Storm, and you're not even Canadian. Nobody had to. And the visual of short hair, clean Jim Duggan was... yeah. If you guys didn't know, Jim Duggan was picked up by Team Canada at one point. Lance Storm is a hell of a wrestler, hell of a trainer, and a hell of a wrestling mind. If you guys get a chance, and I know Big Bad Boris isn't here, but Game Time Art knows him real well. If you could find a way to get into the PWA archives, the Prairie Wrestling Alliance here in Alberta, Lance Storm was one of the early bookers of that promotion. And consistently, that place was getting 6, 7, 8, 900 people out to a show in a time when wrestling was not as popular as it was today. Shout out to Boris for having the video. Shout out to PWA for having the matches. I like to see a little bit of a chase of the action here on this one. Don't think I've ever seen that man have a botch or an ugly move. Here's the thing. When it comes to moves, you miss the Nate days a lot. Me too. Like, I wish there were times where we could fill up a place like Nate or McEwen consistently. You get a bit of that, like now... When it comes to wrestling, you gotta have that feel of... So basically, the feel you gotta have is like that underground vibe to get yourself over because you just can't generate enough people. Yeah, once again, you know what? I'm gonna have to get a Damn You Vince button for a sound effect here on the channel. That might be one of my goals coming forward here, because every time we find something that Vince did to screw things up that's been fixed now, damn you, Vince. Pew. Maybe it's this one. lose all your points, they're easy to get back again. So, and being a subscriber, you get your points back a lot faster too. Thunder Rosa going with the little black cowgirl gimmick. Oh, God. She's serious. Never going to get over that failed invasion storyline. Well, Vince just wasn't willing to pay for contracts. And think of it this way. And Jagger, and everybody in the chat, I think you guys will be in the same boat I will right now. If you think about it, if you were going to be paid millions of dollars to sit at home and do nothing, or do something that didn't involve wrestling, or tear that up, maybe get less money, but get your reputation higher so you have a potential to make more, but no guarantees, which one would you take? Hell, I'd be tempted to take the money too. Especially with a guy like Vince in control. Like, let's face it, Vince didn't win the war. WCW lost the war. There's a big difference there. It was more the fact that WCW couldn't get on TV, and TV's the holy grail when you're dealing with wrestling right now. And if you can't do that, you're just another indie promotion. That's why people consider, in many ways, Impact Wrestling one of the top promotions in the country. Because no matter how much you want to crap on Impact Wrestling, they're on TV. So you got to count that. HPC too sweet. Boy, good to see you here. I will never get over the day the Invasion story ended. They brought in Ric Flair and then the NWO 2 months later. Yeah, because once the contracts expired, those guys wanted more money. That's what happened. And that's what the annoying part was of the whole thing. Vince didn't ruin the Invasion angle. AOL had top, yeah. And that's exactly it. Like, WWE dominated the ratings because Face DX and Austin were just better at turbacks than the NWO. It's funny, and I would like to go back. And you know what? It might be an idea if anybody wants to do a podcast about it. I'm sure there's enough of them here. Go back and look at what DX's real involvement was in the Attitude Era. Because as much as the WWE propaganda tries to... Ooh, nice heel kick on the Thunder Rosa here. Ow. Yamashita, when she hit the ground, she just pew. What's going on in this match? It's not... Jaeger, you got to realize when it comes to different styles, like I'll say this, when it comes to a Japanese style, there's a different kind of selling, there's a different kind of reaction. Nice kick. All right, well, we got our picture-in-picture, so we get back to it here. That's not saying there weren't miscues on the WCW part, but AOL hamper... Well, it basically came down to the fact that Jamie Kellogg, as part of AOL, didn't like wrestling, and Ted Turner did. We don't have to overthink this. And AOL had to take over the contracts. And unfortunately, the wrestlers got good contracts and they sat on them. That was the problem that they had with the booking at WCW for years. So, straight up, that's what happened. Thunder Rosa hasn't been a good champion, hasn't had good champion, has a great champion booking. Also is bad, but hasn't lived up to her build either. Yeah. it's hard right now because I don't know. Thunder Rosa's got this certain level to her that it's almost like giving. Where could I best example it? The Ring of Honor Women's Championship for the inaugural women's tournament. Sumi Sakai was the actual first champion there. And don't get me wrong, Sumi's a good wrestler, but compared to the field that they had there, it almost felt like it was being given out as a legacy award to Sumi to be the first Ring of Honor Women's Champion for all the work that she did for it. And don't get me wrong, I completely understand that, but at the same time, it's all about what's going to draw in the most money here right now. And I didn't think Sumi's matches really set that bar. And it's sort of like where we're at with Thunder Rosa. Like, she has done so much for the women's wrestling throughout North America. Like, hell, she's got her own promotion going in Mission Pro. And shout out to Gigi Ray. She's been killing it down the States, and Mission Pro is one of those promotions that's been leading the way for her on that. But unfortunately, she hasn't been booked to anything good. She hit a good stunner there. She hasn't been booked into any good feuds, and anything she's been given hasn't really stood out. Like, don't get me wrong, they're not horrible matches, but they're not great. And when you're dealing with the champion, you need great. And you need smooth, and you need compact here. Thunder Rosa's title win was weird. Should have been at a pay-per-view, not on Dynamite. The story behind her winning in San Antonio in a cage a year after she had that epic match with Britt, I think it made a lot of sense on how they did it. And yeah, Parrish, I'll agree with you. Good talent and should override bad ideas. Like, I'm not blaming this all on the booking. It is Thunder Rosa that needs to step up and make this championship worthwhile, make people want to see her. And I just don't know if she can do it. Anyway, let's get back at... I got to get back in the chat here. Wow, you guys are, like I said, you're bringing it tonight. They haven't really built up anything interesting for Thunder Rosa. Well, her feud with Nyla Rose was pretty boring. And then right now they're just keeping Britt there, which really isn't helping the division as a whole. It'd be nice to have it as... just watching these shots get unloaded here. It'd be nice if they focused a little bit more on Hayter and a little bit less on Baker, but... okay, that just looked bad. Nice. Tried to go for the victory roll and switched out into a wheelbarrow. Was there anyone else not as upset about David Arquette winning the title as I was? It was the Monday Night Wars. They were way worse. I was more upset with Vince Russo winning the title than David Arquette, to be perfectly honest. I know about the history and all that, but idea-wise sure made sense, but they build that match and only match to have her lose right before. Yeah. Honestly, if I'm going to get somebody to take that championship off Thunder Rosa, and I think you mentioned it perfectly there, Julie Hart, to me, that would set her in a place that would get her career going the way it should be right now. Here's an idea for Thunder Rosa. Oh, and she didn't kick out. Okay, that was a miss. Okay. You ever get a feeling when you just... Is Julia Hart good enough in the ring, though? I don't think she needs to be. And Thunder Rosa wins again. Yeah, Zodiac, Zodiac, there's one thing about giving it, giving Julia Hart, I don't want to give it the exact same example, but at the same time, Julia Hart has enough wrestling in her, and she has enough people around her to turn her into an absolute monster that I think it'd be a cool idea to maybe give it to her instead. Okay, let's see now. Seidel Moriarty on Friday. Paige and Ruffin. They announced these during the ROH pay-per-view. Anna Jay and Ruby Soho. That should be interesting. Lethal, Satnam, and Sanjay versus the Best Friends. Adam Cole. Really? I was just watching him play Halo Infinite earlier today. And we're going back to, okay. Still don't buy Julia Hart at, oh, wait. Quake by the Lake? All right. So they're doing Jericho as the mid-card one. Whoa! Hello! Okay. Okay. AEW coming to Canada. Of course, it's going to be Toronto. Oh! And they just brushed right through it. AEW coming to Canada, folks. Mid-October to the Coca-Cola Center, which basically is where the Marlies play. So that is a hell of a get. Surprised we're not all over it here. Oh, I see the internet starting to fire up. Still don't buy Julie Hart as House of Black, though. She screams preppy kid who just discovered My Chemical Romance. Does Canada mean west of Hamilton, though? You know what? It's across the border. It always starts somewhere. If Saraya signs with AEW, I'd even take the title right off Rosa and then transition it to Ruby. That's another possibility as well, but I want to count about the roster that's there right now, not the roster that could be there. If Saraya shows up and she wins it their first night, that could be a complete FU to the to Vince after all the crap that he put her through in terms of not letting her go or not letting her work. I'm just getting the prediction up for the main event here, guys. Okay, I'll put this up for 10 minutes here, guys, because it is the main event. Because we know it's going to run till 8. Yeah, Darth Mick, to be honest, Saraya, she wants to wrestle. And I believe she's got a con next month in England. And she might be working for her parents' promotion. So as excited to see her back in wrestling, there is trepidation that comes with similar when Danielson comes. You know what? With everybody, there's going to be issues with with what's going on in terms of injury. Because hell, we got Danielson out here. Every time he gets in the ring, you're going to be worried about concussion. That's an assumed risk from here on out. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And then Triple H changed a lot of things. Yeah, but let's put it this way. Triple H can only change so much. And there are some people that aren't very appreciative of even what Triple H was doing. There's a lot less, but and then Talon and Doc, you know what? We're never going to get any full answers, and we really don't need to. So, and DBS Pod has it perfectly. I know she wants to wrestle, but I imagine Oscar Lefbaum wants to play hockey. Apparently, she's been cleared to work. It's just WWE and their insurance didn't want to cover that, having her in a match. So, I think there's a bigger shock here right now. The fact that possibly on Saturday, you could see the appearance of Sasha Banks and Naomi show up at SummerSlam. If Triple H can say that he can actually book those championships the way they should and give some kind of storyline for Sasha, I could totally see her walking out on Saturday at SummerSlam. Not that she really needs to get involved in wrestling anymore. Well, Danielson, nope. And what's with the navy blue tights now? No more purple. Oh. WWE also had people cleared that they said no because it's larger business, so it's bigger liabilities. AEW is more independent. Also, Oscar has already said he doesn't want to play hockey right now. Just an example, Parrish. It's all it was. What in the hell? You ever get in a position where you just say, no, screw it, I'm going for it, nonstop? I think that's pretty much where Danielson is right now. Because the last time we saw Danielson in the ring, it was, he was getting choked out with a ring rope and the walls of Jericho. Who is Paul Horn? Maybe he's one of the doctors that we were talking about. I'm not sure. Unless I missed something in the chat. I think I've been keeping up with it. Oh, I see what you talk about. The sign in the back. Oscar will retire this season. It's already assumed both. Yeah, because it costs more money if you. It costs more money if you let him retire and then it gets stuck on your books for an extra while. Well, by the way, I'm just retweeting out right now the announcement of them coming to Toronto. I'm sure every wrestling fan in Canada is going to be going out there. I've already checked my work schedule. I ain't going, unfortunately. Unless I get a new job by then. His contract's up after this year? Okay, yeah, so I do believe if he retires early, they get a recapture penalty of an extra year, so. Duncan Keith didn't have that problem because he was still under the old CBA when it comes to his contract, so they're allowed to backload it or front load it and then not have it go against the cap. Danielson's going into like 18. Oh, tried to stand up on the chair. The chair said nope. He was paid his annual salary and bonus by the teams up to date. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he gets paid all of it. It's just if there's no recapture on Clef Bomb. Okay. I thought there was for some reason. Like, under that, just a penalty for that retirement there. Oh. Missed the drop kick and he went out. Yeah. No, we're just saying if he actually officially retires right now. Love the slow clap by Boxhead. Yeah, no, we were just saying if he officially retired. So it doesn't make sense for him to just keep him on the roster until that contract goes away. So Danielson over there's vintage Daniel. Oh. And Garcia's like, I don't even know what to do. Well, if you want to keep him down, that's where you keep him down, right on the stairs. Oh, cameraman, get the hell out of the way. Well, Garcia's out. Gonna officially retire anything. Yeah, that just makes sense. You knew that they were going to find some way to play a concussion storyline here somehow. But those facials on Garcia, like, holy man. Like, he's sitting there. He's like, I really don't know what to do. Am I supposed to sit back? I think, yeah, you're talking about making it make sense. I think with AEW, they do more the point of they bring the doctor in before they'll call it. And that's something they've consistently done. They haven't, referees will not just call the match because they think it's a problem. They will get doctors in to fix that problem first. If the doctor says call it, then they'll call it. Get the story, but hate this overall. Ha! Well, there you go. I missed it. It wouldn't surprise me. I was chatting with you guys here. But yeah, you knew somewhere in here they were going to make this. But I will say this, in all defense of the referees, when it comes to dealing with wrestler injuries, they have always deferred to the doctors at ringside first. They've never called a match on themselves. unless they physically do the check and he's out. If he's physically able to respond, the referee has not stopped a match without a doctor. It's when they physically cannot respond to anything. If they can respond, but they look worse for shape, yeah, don't blame the ref, blame the writing. It's an old trope. It is an old trope. It's a trope we don't need. I'm just more trying to make sense of it in terms of a storyline way. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying what it is. In my personal opinion, they don't need to run this kind of angle. Kind of like Enzo being knocked out cold by a vaudevillains. Yeah. Garcia's a heel and showing concern. I will say this. Triple H has a lot more current loyalty mixed with Cody going to WWE and allowing to keep everything out. Now with the product going TV 14, the fact they can pay better with more days off because it's known that you can work limited dates, WWE will garner attention from a lot of people again. And if MJF flees over, that will be giant. Yeah. I think MJF's just a foregone conclusion about going over there. Because him and Tony just don't see eye to eye on a lot of stuff that they do. And once again, it's still great to see that they're coming to Canada. They're not throwing a parade in Winnipeg, though. That's the thing. Right, we got about 8 minutes to go here in this. How fast are those Toronto tickets going to sell? Well, based on the fact that I do believe it is a... I believe it's only like a 12,000 seat arena. I do expect it to sell out. It might not be an immediate sellout, but I believe that it is a sellout regardless. August 5th is a Battle of the Belts again. Yeah, like I've seen that. I gotta check my schedule because I'm hoping that. Hey, I like Parrish's comment here. They'll sell out a lot faster than round 2 playoff tickets for the Leafs. So if you guys are wondering, the Coca-Cola Coliseum, that's where Toronto's farm team plays. Formerly known as the Ricoh Coliseum. Also, if you're a basketball fan, it's the home of Raptors 905, their G League team. So, I'm hoping we can do a watch along for Battle of the Belts on the 5th, but also, like I said, I just have to check the schedule and how things are going. Little piece of advice while we got a second here before we get going here after the show. Make sure if you aren't subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you are. As of probably Sunday, I'm going to be changing the URL on there from Backbreaker Media to Backbreaker Video to match the name of the channel, ironically enough. And might have a little bit more in terms of content going up there in the next month, but once I have a little more centered idea exactly what I'll be doing, I'll let you guys know. Trust me. I'm good with that. I don't watch much sports lately. Our arena's getting filled in Canada. I know here in the southern U.S. they've been packing stadiums for a year and a half. Well, I'm in Alberta, so technically COVID never arrived. Just the mandates were put in illegally, and, everybody's got a flag out their truck, and it says Ruck Trudeau and all that stuff, so. In terms of hockey, it's pretty much been as much as he was before. TK had said Toronto and Montreal should be the first two Canadian cities, then he expects Vancouver and potentially Calgary and Edmonton. Well, it makes sense. You go to the biggest cities first. Oh, Alberta is totally the Texas of Canada. I hate to be a part of that reputation, but it's true. It is one of the things I can't stand about Alberta, but it doesn't have fully, like, not everybody thinks that way, but it just gets overabundance that way. Oh no, and going through the chat like that, don't worry about it. We just had a different opinion. But oh, there we go. Cattle mutilation. The finisher we haven't been able to see for a very long time. Yeah, Edmonton is a bit of a progressive island compared to the rest of the province. It's like consistently with Alberta, we've always voted differently compared to the rest of the province when it comes to seats, which is ironic because the capital is here in Edmonton. But out of politics, these 12-6 elbows are somewhat perfect. Nice suplex there. Trap leg backdrop driver. No, don't go for that now. Oh. All right, that was a camera screw up. A demo daddy. Don't slap Danielson. That's the worst that you could do. Now boot to the face. Rolling elbow. Danielson, here comes that knee. And here comes the label lock. And thank you very much for coming out. He's even moving him around into TV spot. Oh, he got to the ropes. T.Y. Jackson confirmed Enzo Marco. Parrish, just to remind you here, the Bills will win the Super Bowl this year. You can mark that down somewhere, wherever you feel like. Oh, God. More friggin' sports entertainment crap. Here we go. There's the pile driver. He has a weird issue with dry toilet paper, so what? Okay, we got 2 minutes here. Oh. Could you imagine Danielson tapping out here? Must be thinking with your tail, not your... Nice. And hates the idea of vinegar on... We're going to have to do a Bash T.Y. Jackson episode here sometime. Holy crap! Well, somebody just lost 1,100. Wow. All right, well, you knew there was going to be some kind of shenanigans involved here, so ketchup is the goat on fries. Ha! Just fell over Danielson. That a boy. You won huge last week, losing. You know, it comes, it goes. It's all good that way. I think Garcia really did earn this victory. I wish it would have been cleaned up a little bit in terms of what they did with it, like that whole concussion angle and whatnot. I wish they would have cleaned up a little bit of that, not used it as much earlier in the match. Because if you're going to do it quick and just get it over and done with. But, yeah, overall, I'd have to say a really decent episode of Dynamite tonight. We got a new champion. Put all my points on Thunder Rosa, so I won this week. Attaboy, Parrish. Call that a win. We got a new FTW champion in Hook, which I think is absolutely perfect. We had a great opening match between John Moxley and Roosh, where Moxley ended up hitting a Death Rider for the win. If you're going to do it quick. That's what she said. Give you that for that. All right, Darth Vic, you take care of yourself. We're going to be heading over to Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots podcast. They'll be running up here in a couple minutes here. So just giving a quick recap. Overall tonight, we saw the turn of Powerhouse Hobbs on Ricky Starks. So in other words, we saw Ricky Starks turn face. The introduction of Trios Championships, we saw those coming out. Thunder Rosa with another win. Rather, all right, it was there. Good enough. We got the introduction of Anna Jay, a little bit more defined as a member of the Jericho Appreciation Society. Or Anna JAS, as she's now called. I don't know. Okay. Jungle Boy coming out. And this feud getting into a load of words a lot higher than what it was before. And a main event that was okay. Like, it wasn't horrible, but the storyline needs to be cleaned up a little bit. Especially with Danielson, because that same gimmick is going to... If you're using that first day back, not exactly going to be the best thing for you for keeping things clean and going on here. So let me just get a couple things out of the way here. Feel free to join our Discord here. We do post, we're getting 2 gaming videos a day here, at least till Monday. I got to work on some after we're done here tonight. This video for this will be on our wrestling page, which is right there as well. We do have merch available. I got all these quick buttons here. This is going to be great. Gonna stream Walking That Aisle one last time. I might be there. Oh, the Ric Flair's last match. You know what? I'm probably going to stream it. I'm probably going to do a sidecast on it as well. So if you guys are interested, I'm definitely willing to do it. I just love the fact that Rachel's Ellering's got a match on it, and it's one of the feature matches based on the posters. So you know what? I'll call it right now. Let's do it. 4:05 Mountain Time, 6:05 Eastern. Ric Flair's last match. It could be done relatively early, so we'll have a lot of fun with that.